Good morning everybody from Singapore Changi International Airport. My name is Hugo and today I believe I'm going to be taking a flight on board one of Thai Airways 777-200s in Royal Silk or business class from here in Singapore on a flight up to Bangkok. I'm very excited for this, so come along and let's see what Thai Airways business class is like on an aircraft which isn't going to be around much longer. Thai Airways uses Terminal 2 here at Singapore Changi Airport and I believe check-in row 8. Looks like my flight's been retimed to 15 minutes later, which I don't really mind. I've already done check-in online, but since there's been an aircraft swap, which I'll talk about more later, I'm going to use a kiosk to change my seat and print my boarding pass. That process was easy. Immigration and boarding pass scanning was super quick and easy, which is always great here. Now airside, let's go and take a look at a lounge. According to the boarding pass, it looks like Thai Airways uses the SATS lounge here, but with a Star Alliance business class ticket you can use any Star Alliance lounge. So I think I'll use Singapore Airlines lounge, thank you very much. I've had a look at SATS lounge, I think it was in Terminal 2 before, in one of my Malaysia Airlines 737 videos. You can check that out if you'd like to see what it's like, but it's decent for a contract lounge but nothing exciting I don't think. Quite crowded too. Today we're going to be checking out the SilverKris Business Lounge at Terminal 2 here. There's also one in Terminal 3 which I understand is better, but since my flight departs from Terminal 2, I'm just going to use this one since I assume it's still pretty decent. This lounge features a buffet area with a good selection of food, and there's a solid selection of drinks including alcoholic. There's no bar or barista coffee though. In the buffet there's a good selection of dim sum. There's kind of a dining area near the buffet area, which is nice. This was sort of the only part of the lounge which felt busy. Also there is a noodle bar which is nice. The lounge does have free Wi-Fi and shower rooms, although the shower rooms don't feature toilets in them. The bathroom does have some additional amenities such as toothbrush and toothpaste, combs, etc. The lounge has a nice premium feeling space which does seem relatively modern, even though it is being renovated. Also the lounge staff were very friendly. Overall, for a non-flagship lounge which is still going to get renovated, it's still good and offered all of the standard things for a business lounge. The vibe is chill but fancy, mostly. The lounge is definitely better than the SATS one. I look forward to seeing the new lounge when it opens. If I'm not mistaken, the new or refurbished SilverKris lounge here is at least partially the same space as the current one, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Now let's head to the gate where we have to go through baggage and body scanning. There's my beautiful ride to Bangkok. Hotel Sierra Tango Juliet Victor is a 2007 built Boeing 777-200 which was delivered new to Thai Airways. Please allow me to take a moment to tell you about the aircraft swap and Thai Airways fleet. When I booked this flight it was scheduled to be on an A330-300, which I believe feature lie-flat seats. The evening before the flight it still showed A333 on Flight Radar 24, but on managed booking Thai Airways showed the 777-200, so I gathered maybe it had been swapped to that. The night before the flight, FlightAware said B777-W, which is the 777-300ER, so I wasn't too sure what my plane was going to be. But when I clicked where's my plane, it showed a Boeing 777-200, which had arrived in from Manila, so I was able to figure out that it was going to be a 777-200. But the aircraft swap wasn't really that much of a surprise to me. On the intra-Asian flights, Thai Airways seem to swap aircraft quite often. Thai Airways' fleet of 77 aircraft is quite diverse, and the onboard product differs as well. I'd imagine that having so many different aircraft types isn't great for Thai in terms of having streamlined operations. Thai does have plans to reduce the amount of aircraft types which it operates, with the 777-200s to be retired by 2029. So yeah, I think my plane being swapped to the 777-200 was one of the better, if not the best outcome for me, because at least it's not the recliner seat you'll find on the A320, and it's a cool plane to get to fly on. This is actually my first time on a 777-200, I believe. Now it's time to board. Boarding was done by zones and started about on time or a couple minutes earlier than my boarding pass said, which I think was updated with the new time.
We are now inviting passengers with infant or young children below age of 5 and passenger requesting assistance in their lawyer or get Go and Star and Gold card members to board at your own convenience on the left lane. Please have your boarding pass ready for verification before boarding. Thank you.
Welcome on board one of Thai Airways Boeing 777-200 ERs.
Welcome on board, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Which in Royal Silk or business class feature 30 cradle recliner angle flat business class seats in a 222 configuration. My seat for this flight will be 16A. And then in economy there's 262 seats in a 333 configuration. Waiting for me on my seat is a pair of headphones, a pillow and a blanket. My first impressions were it's quite a dated cabin, but also spacious. These business class seats do feature adjustable headrests and also adjustable reading lights. Welcome drinks were soon handed out, with the options being juice, water and their signature mocktail, which I believe includes butterfly pea.
Some drink?
Oh yes please, what's this one?
The violet please is a sweet and sour drink.
Okay, thank you.
And hot towel to refresh.
Yes please, thank you.
It's my pleasure. This is our signature drink.
Thank you. I went for that signature mocktail. Hot towels were also handed out with this. The drink was in a proper glass and the hot towel was on a tray, which are nice touches that I appreciate. Now let's take a quick look at the seat features. There's noticeably heaps of legroom. Also the seat is pretty comfy and the width is not bad. Just here there's some storage, I guess for some literature. Then just here there's an in-flight entertainment screen, which isn't very easy to reach. Then just here there's a coat hook. Then over here there's a couple more literature compartments, one of them containing the menu and also the magazine.
Mr. G.
Yes.
Today flight time to Bangkok 2 hours. After takeoff, we would like to serve you breakfast.
Yep.
Have you made a selection on the menu list?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we have the steamed chicken with oyster sauce with rice. We have scrambled eggs. I would like to have the congee.
I'll try the steamed chicken with oyster sauce.
Right.
Please. Yes.
How about some tea, coffee, for juice for you?
Will you have these?
Yes. After takeoff?
Yes. Thank you. I was addressed by name and briefed about this flight, shown the menu, my order was taken, and I was told a few things about the seat.
One toilet at the front, 2 at the middle, one toilet and the charger, electricity.
Thank you very much. Then just here there's some seat controls, and in the armrest there's a remote for the in-flight entertainment screen. Just there's a power socket. And there's some space here to put things such as a welcome drink. Also the towel had a nice scent to it, and the mocktail was really nice. There's the overhead panel, which does not appear to feature individual adjustable air vents. The jet bridge soon pulled away, and I was happy to see that I still had a spare seat next to me. Boarding seemed efficient.
We are now ready to depart. For your safety, please take a moment. Watch the safety video. Thank you.
It's now time for pushback, about 4 minutes behind the original schedule. After pushback, some additional amenities were offered.
destination and at your station.
By the way, if you are enjoying this video so far and you'd like to see more like it, liking and subscribing would help me to be able to make more of these videos and would be very much appreciated. So please consider doing so, but if you don't want to, that's completely okay. It's now time for takeoff on runway 20 centre. Here's a look at the in-flight menu. Now before the service, let's take a look at the seat bed / recline. I think it's great really. It is angle flat rather than full lie flat. but it's a 2-hour flight, so I think that's perfectly fine, and it's still comfy. The seat's really customizable. You can adjust, I think it's the lumbar support. Seems like there's a massage function too. Here's the tray table. The crew soon offered water, and not long later I got the butterfly pea limeade, which I ordered. The headphones provided seem like really good quality headphones, but I much prefer headphones that sit over your ear rather than on them like these ones. I feel like I can hear better that way. I can still hear from these ones pretty well though. Now before the food arrives, let's take a quick look at the in-flight entertainment. The in-flight entertainment screen is outdated, which isn't surprising. But its content's pretty decent, with I think 150 total movies or something. There's also TV shows and music, and an in-flight map, which is always nice. The quality of the screen though is very average. We'll briefly get back to the entertainment later, but food's here and it smells yummy. It's okay. Thank you.
Steamed chicken with oyster sauce and steamed rice.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. You'd like me to open this for you?
Okay, sure, thank you.
Salt and pepper.
The crew put down a cloth, then a tray, and then offered to take out the cutlery, which there was a lot of, like there was one for everything. Thank you very much. Thank you. For my main, I went for the steamed chicken with oyster sauce, which came alongside a warm croissant, which had a great flavour and the texture was solid. There was also some butter, some strawberry jam, some honey, some yogurt, some fresh fruit, and some chili sauce for the chicken. There's also a few little things I think like salt and pepper down there. The main dish, with the incredible sauce which was on the side, was fantastic, a delicious and good sized meal. The fruit was very nice and fresh, and the yogurt with the honey was nice. Bottled water was later handed out, and after the meal service, hot towels are handed out. Now let's take a quick look at one of the lavatories. This one is huge. I think it's the most spacious I've experienced. There is some additional amenities which is nice to have, especially in business class. By the way, the blanket is quite thick and comfy. Now let's take a quick look at a bit more of the in-flight entertainment screen, which by the way does play ads before movies. By the way, throughout the flight the cabin crew have been very attentive, friendly and proactive. They sometimes ask people if they wanted refills, offered water and stuff like that. Now as we descend into Bangkok, please allow me to conclude this experience in Thai Airways business class. Probably the most annoying thing about this flight was pre-flight with the whole aircraft swap thing. It seems very common for that to happen, and I was really lucky that I wanted to try and fly the 777-200 at some point anyway. But it is still an inferior product to the originally scheduled one, and if I got changed to an A320 that would have been really annoying. Also, because of the change, the seats had to be changed, which caused some confusion. I didn't have checked baggage and I did do check-in online, but seat changing and boarding pass printing at Changi airport was easy. And the Singapore Airlines lounge I had access to thanks to business class was great. I was interested to see what Thai Airways lounge was like in Bangkok. I was able to check that out when I flew on Ethiopian Airlines business class from Bangkok to Hong Kong, a trip report about which is already out on my channel, so if you're interested in seeing that and or the Thai Airways lounge, feel free to check out that video, I'll link it on the screen now. Boarding was done by groups with business getting priority as you would expect. Once on board, the crew were friendly and everything right off the bat. I did notice the outdated cabin, but also the spacious cabin in terms of aisle and headspace. I like the wooden touches which Thai Airways has, which I think are more plentiful on their newer planes. Despite its age, the seat was comfortable with heaps of legroom and all the things you'd need as long as you know that the power socket is not universal. Thankfully I had an adapter for the type found in Thailand. I did end up finding a small storage compartment, and there's a few obvious other ones, but generally storage lacks. My backpack had to go overhead, but that didn't really bother me. I was lucky not to have anyone sitting next to me. For a flight of this length, the seat still goes angle flat, and as I said, it's comfy, and 222 on a 777 isn't too bad. So while you wouldn't really pick Thai for this seat, I wouldn't not pick them because of the seat either. I think it's decent for short haul flights. Considering the short amount of time which boarding was done in, I was more than happy with the ground service. With a hot towel on a tray, a tasty welcome drink, and a personal greeting and briefing by the crew. 3 options for the main meal on this shorter flight is good but expected for business class. Getting another hot towel was nice, offering 2 and presenting the cutlery so nicely and there being so much of it is a nice touch. Also, if I'm not mistaken, if you order champagne or sparkling wine, it comes in a proper flute on Thai Airways. The drinks list looked like it had a great selection. The meal overall was delicious, I enjoyed it a lot. The drinks I had were delicious too. The amenities such as the pillow, which was nice and soft, a nice and thick blanket and high quality headphones are all nice to see. Oh, and also the handing out water thing. This flight flew by for me, and I was thoroughly impressed by Thai Airways, particularly once on board, and I'm so incredibly grateful to be able to have these opportunities. There was lots of little things which other airlines don't do, which Thai does, and I felt the difference. Honestly, when it comes to service, I think that Thai Airways is actually better than Cathay Pacific on this route in business class, and I'm excited to see what's ahead for Thai with its fleet streamlining and modernisation, because with the introduction of new seats and if they can make these short haul flights more consistent with the aircraft type, I can see Thai being an incredible option. We'll soon pull into the gate about 2 minutes behind the original schedule, but for now please enjoy the rest of the approach and landing on Bangkok Suvarnabhumi International Airport's runway 19er.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now landed at Suvarnabhumi Airport. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the aircraft comes to a complete stop. Thai Airways International, a member of Star Alliance, together with Takeoff Airways. Captain, Aeroplan, and the crew would like to thank you for flying with us, and we look forward to seeing you again.
I'd like to take this time to thank you all so much for watching this video. I'd also like to thank all of my incredible Patreons for helping to make these videos possible. Their support is truly so much appreciated, and I couldn't do what I do without them, so thank you so much to them. Once again, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you in my next one, next Saturday at 5 PM Melbourne time. Thank you so much. No, I've got a connecting flight. I'll come back. Thank you.